Welcome to Samuelsdottir channel. Kevin Samuels was truly a truth seeker, and after many years of educating both men and women of all races, but particularly those of African descent, in the art of navigating the ever-complex dating world, he was sadly ripped from our lives as he was called back home to the Almighty in 2022. Some of us, myself included, instinctively recognized the truth of his message. Many found his message rather unpalatable. I am hoping with this channel to make his message that little bit more digestible in a more feminine and softer manner. I hope this helps my sisters in the Black community who saw him as an enemy. Being Black myself, I hope I can bridge that gap. And oh, by the way, my father was also called Samuel, so in a twist of fate, I pay tribute with this channel to my father, who is also where Kevin has gone. I love how the Icelandic have a way of acknowledging someone's daughter in the same way as someone's son. So I appropriate the Icelandic way to find a suitable name for my channel, Samuelsdottir, Samuel's daughter. Enjoy the video.
If you think about dating, and relationships as it relates to college and a job, it starts to make a heck of a lot more sense. One of the biggest issues today, gentlemen or ladies, is your behavior. Now, we are starting to see more women who are fit, feminine, or fit and friendly, seemingly cooperative, seemingly submissive, but you got to ask yourself a question. One of the things when I sit down with men, there's always something wrong. And these women are usually in their late 20s to their mid 30s. Where does that put you? Danger zone.
Danger zone.
27 to 35. Why is this important? Guys, you need to pay close attention to her job history. Her job history is her dating history. In particular, you need to ask yourself how she ends her relationships. If you are dealing with a woman who is conflict avoidant, run.
I have to stop this video here. What? I am shocked. Now, I realize I'm about to get educated here. I thought conflict avoidance was a good thing. I try very hard to avoid conflict, to be agreeable, to be feminine. So I'm a bit confused. Maybe I should listen some more. Okay, let's go for it.
I cannot tell you how many attractive women, Black women I have met who have zero ability to handle stress, conflict, disagreement. In other words, the only time they are of any good is when everything is okay. Gentlemen, do yourself a favor and don't try to, and we're, by nature as men, we're fixers. We like to fix things and feel like, no. You'll be led to believe that it was because her ex was deficient in some category or because of whatever. It's her. These women are college educated. They are professionals, and they are all 27. Well, actually, they're like 27. They're all 28 and above. Why? Because they are thoroughly into their careers. One thing that you can know about these women is they have an actual career. Let's see the warning signs to look for. Women with careers, career girls, career gals.
Well, I see Kevin Samuel's point here. Yes, I think much as we hate conflict, no one likes conflict, I imagine. Perhaps the ability to deal with conflict, should it arise, it's important. It's important in life in general, especially in relationships. So, yes, okay, point taken. The other point about careers, that would be me. I have a career. It's not just a job, I think, but I do have a career. Is it a disadvantage? Not necessarily. I think it depends on the woman. But I think those who use their careers as a block to shield themselves from relationships do so because they perhaps lack skills for a relationship. It's a complex topic. It's not as simple as it may seem on the surface. But then you could also argue that most women have a career. Or a job. There is a difference, of course, yes, which keeps them busy, right? So, dating is more complicated because both parties, both men and women, have something else to occupy them, as opposed to in the older days where it was much simpler because, only the men had to worry about jobs and careers and professions and things like that. So, that's a complicating factor in today's dating world. But okay, I think it's surmountable, this particular hurdle. It's not the worst thing that can happen.
Career girls, career gals, she has a career. And what I mean by a career, she proudly tells you about her career. She is her job. Kudos to you, ma'am, if you are your job. But the men inevitably are not trying to find women who are their job. She's a career girl. A career girl, a boss chick, or whatever it is, this is her. Pay close attention, gentlemen, because these women are hiding in plain sight. They look good. They smell good. You would think that, hey, we should be able to make something happen. Apps a French toast, absolutely not. You will not be able to make anything happen with these women. You know why? Because 1, they are risk avoidant. 2, they have serious mother-daughter wounds. Serious mother-daughter wounds. Now I'm going to leave this to the clinicians, but mother-daughter wounds are something that, again, as a stable, thorough, normal-minded man, you feel like, it should be as easy as getting away from your mother. But see, understand how these two things worked. These women were not allowed to fail in life. Their mothers failed in their relationships. Their mothers either divorced their fathers or never was with their fathers. Their mothers are generally masculine-minded women. For the most part, they are achievers. We're not talking about women whose mom was on Section 8. We're talking about women whose mothers, many are college educated, but in some regard, they are some level of ambitious. And they taught their daughters the power of independence through education. Not beholden to no man. That's why career is at the top for these girls. Mama was God. Mama told her, go to school, get a degree so you don't have to rely on no man. Oftentimes, these girls went directly from Pampers to babysitting their own siblings. They became de facto housekeepers and mothers themselves. They never got an opportunity to be daddy's little girl, mama's little girl, or daddy's princess. We're talking about women who are generally attractive. And when these girls reach around about 9 or 10 years old and they got siblings, mama wants to get back into her life. So why is this important? Because these girls are growing up being preteens and their mama is looking at them, and in ways they don't even understand, mama's looking at her as a threat, because mama sees her as the childless younger version of herself. And she looks at the freedom her daughter has and she resents it. So instead of helping it, she sabotages it. The mother-daughter wounds component goes so freaking deep. So you got women out here who never had an opportunity to be little girls or princesses, never had an opportunity to just be. They had to do. These girls had to make good grades, keep their nose clean, not bring home any boys, You start to see these girls, they tend to graduate extremely highly. They go to these, they're all into appearances. They have to go to the best school, join the best association, wear the best this, best that, blah, blah, blah. I know I am all up in somebody's Kool-Aid right now. And you would think that women like this would have a natural advantage in life, but no, they don't. They don't, because in places where they don't talk about is women like this can never divorce themselves from their mothers, because their mothers failed them as raising them up and making them feel safe, making them feel like they were enough. This is why you see plenty of pretty women who have self-esteem issues. Their mama put it there. And you get these women and you will inevitably notice that they have some sort of love-fear relationship with their mother. Inevitably, if they have brothers, the brothers are being coddled. So the resentment that the young girl gets is that mama treated brother differently, so she inevitably looks at the black male, the male image, as painful for her. So you wonder why you see these girls who go off to college and like, why don't they make better decisions? Because think about, her brother got coddled. She got the whooping. She had to babysit the brother. The brother could fuck up. She couldn't do anything except bring home straight A's and no babies. Why is this important? Because these are the women who cannot maintain a relationship, because they are so busy trying to look perfect to get the approval from their abandoning mother. Oh, shit. Oh. They are so busy trying to get the approval from their abandoning mother that there is nothing you can do about it, brother. So understand, if there's nothing you can do about it, don't sweat yourself. Don't worry about it, man. You can't make this be no better. Trust me, you can't make it be no better. They are so busy trying to get the approval from their abandoning mother. What can you do? Nothing. So when you run across her, what do you have? What happens when you run across these women? You run across these women and they, like I said, they are college educated. They are driven. They are focused. And they are terrified of making a mistake. So what do? They sabotage relationships. Women like this, especially the ones who tend to be smarter, tend to date dudes that are dumber. I'm just going there tonight because I got no more chill in 2022. Y'all know who you talking to. Women like this are smarter. They tend to date dumber dudes. Why? So they can feel good about themselves, because their intelligence, their smarts is the one thing that they can feel comfort in. What do you think they're going to date a man on their term, on their intellectual level? Hell no, because then they'll go back to being the inadequate little girl that their mama raised.
Are we talking about a certain Ms. Markle? Just kidding. But anyway, I think that there is some aspect of truth to this. I can think of a few examples myself. I know this type of woman. In Interesting.
Hit the like button, man. I'm going in. That's why career and degree sits at the top for all of these people, all of these women, because they're lugging around these mother-daughter wounds. And inevitably, you know where it manifests themselves? In problematic relationships. You want to know one thing? She's conflict avoidant. They view conflict. They cannot handle conflict. They would rather act like everything is okay. See, the thing is, in a healthy relationship, conflict management and communication sits at the top. But because her emotions, her needs, her wants were never validated when she was young by her mama, she didn't learn the skills to manage your ego, man. She didn't even learn the skills to manage her own, so she just learned how to turn them off. This is why the lights are on, but there's no one home. These ice queens, and the funny thing is, they look beautiful. They can look attractive, and and I'm saying this too. I've talked to so many of you. Many of you probably feel like I'm talking to you right now, and I'm telling you, this is not specific to you. Black women, Asian women, oh my God, right here. Asian women, Korean women, Chinese, oh yeah, they got it, yeah, they can't fail. So when we talk about becoming the femininity lies in empathy. This is why you get these women saying, I want a man who can communicate and a man who can emote. These women do not want men who have any emotional intelligence. Because if you're a man who has emotional intelligence and you emote, you talk about things that matter, they can't handle it. To them, that feels like weakness. The only times you're allowed to have any kind of emotion around these people is if you lose a loved one. Why is this important? Because they can avoid conflict by going into their career. Their mother-daughter situation is always at top of everything. And all of it is to avoid conflict. They can recognize the problems exist. They know that they need therapy, but they keep themselves so preoccupied because in places that they don't want to talk about. I'm going to tell you, ladies, grab the tissue right now. In places they don't want to talk about, they know what I'm about to put on the screen is true. They know at the end of the day that they are their mother's bailout plan. They know that they are their mother's bailout plan. These women have mothers who are in their late 50s, 60s, who have no relationship. Can't keep a man. They have passed their prime in their careers. They are financially fragile. And these daughters know that they are going to have to be the one to take care of mama until her dying days, because brother can't be relied on to do it. I want you to understand, this woman is in every major city in the United States of America. She has a similar dating history. She dates men beneath her intellectually. She dates men who there is no real possible connection with. And her longest relationships tend to be diametrically opposed. You'll be even questioning, how'd you end up getting with this guy? Why are you here and he's there? Because inevitably it was chill. It was cool because they could just have fun together. But the men, the men of value, the men that require a woman to actually be able to conflict, resolve with, and do all this stuff. Because if you run in any organization, any business, conflict resolution is at the bottom. But they run it conflict. They get out of. They run. They are gone when it's time for conflict. Gone, ghosting. These are the women gentlemen, these are the women you're sitting down there you have your first disagreement with this woman, and you live together, you come home and she's gone. She's gone. She's moved out. Ain't nothing, the Gap Band saying, ain't nothing in the closet but hangers and poles. Get the likes up. We need 1,200 more likes or the comment section gets shut down. They are out. The one thing they do know how to do is run away. Run away! Run away! They run away because real emotion, real connection, real anything scares them because they never were affirmed emotionally when they were coming up. And what does she ultimately look like? She ultimately looks like this. How does she handle her relationships? She ghosts. She ghosts. She ghosts. With women like this, there is no what is it? There is no conversation. There is no let's end the relationship. There is no what is it called when you sit down and you clear up the bad air. You sit down and the relationship's over. You have a conversation. Nope, because they don't know how. They don't know how to break up like a human being because they're emotionally stunted. Emotion is a foreign language. So there is no leaving on good terms. There's no, hey, well, this was good. This was good. No. Ghost. This is why I say you have to look at how a woman leaves her relationships. Because many women will tell you, oh, my relationships are all bad or my relationships are all good. Then why aren't you with any of these men? If you meet this kind of woman, she tends to not have had bad relationships. And they're all a year plus. And they're all with men that are above average. Then why aren't you with any of them? Why aren't you with any of them? Here it is. This is why. Because they know that the man that they're with is going to have to be able to accept the fact that sooner or later she's going to have to move close to her mother or she's going to have to move mama in. That's the ticking time bomb. At 35 years old, she's with a guy and everything's going well, but she knows eventually I'm gonna have to tell him. When my mama loses her job at 63, she ain't gonna have enough money to pay for that house. And I can't leave my mama out there on the streets. We're gonna have to move mama in. Mama gonna have to move in with us, or we're gonna have to move close to mama. Come on. How many gentlemen, how many times have you met somebody like that? You look at their mother and you're like, well, damn, You want to go off and start your life with your woman, but she can never get too far away from her mama because her mama got nobody. She knows she's mama's ultimate bailout plan. You want to know? You want to know? Ask her about cutting her mother off. She can't imagine doing that because it will be being disloyal as a daughter.
Well, if I may interject here, in this woman's defense, she's being a good person. I understand Kevin's point. From the relationship's point of view, it's a kind of a non-starter, because if ultimately it'll be three in the marriage, the couple plus the woman's mother, then yeah, I think, depending on the man, of course, there's some men who are quite happy with that. They're very happy for their wife to have family around, especially her own mother. That's not a problem. But I can also understand the man for whom this is a no-go, because it disrupts his own family with his own wife, with his own children, etc. So yeah, it can become a great conflict point in a relationship. But the point I'm trying to make here is it's not the woman's fault. If she is the mother's bailout plan, she's the mother's bailout plan. She cannot abandon her mother in favor of a man. That would say more negative things about her than if she remained loyal to her mother, who, after all, gave her life. So, in many ways, I don't really blame such a woman. In the same way, if a man were close to his mother, I don't really blame him. It's, of course, how do I put this politely? Irritating for the woman if he's a bit of a mama's boy and the mother weaponizes this against her, the wife. The same can happen, of course, with a daughter whose mother manipulates her and therefore ruins her marriage to a man. In both of these cases, the mother-in-law should be cognitive of the fact that she's been lucky. She has a loyal son or daughter who is able to remain loyal to them despite their relationship, despite their marriage. And I think she should be grateful to be in this luxury position.
So these women can't move on forward with anybody in a relationship because in places where they don't want to admit, oh my God, oh my God, remember you ladies, you asked for this. She's married to her own mother. She's married to her own mother. She can't be your wife. She can't be your girlfriend. She can't be your nothing because she's married to her own mother. She's married to her own mother. Desmond says, I have several times. There it is. She's married to her own mother. So whether to be upfront with you, if you've ever been sitting around, and where this come from? So many women ask me to touch on this mother-daughter wound thing because this has been going on for months. They've been having conversations amongst themselves. They've been having some with their mothers. But then I've also had men saying, why are these relationships not working? I meet her and on paper, everything's okay. We like one another, this or that. But inevitably, it always happens the same way. She's too busy in her career. Her career is her safety zone. It's her way she can avoid. She's putting too much into her career. And you would think her career is paying her $500,000. No, it's paying her less than 6 figures. But it takes up every... you would think this woman is a triage surgeon. The way she talks about her career and how busy she is. But it's the one place that she can just she can become numb. She is numb. Her career and what she really knows is, if I, oh Jesus, prepare yourself, ladies. They're still trying to win their mother's acceptance. Your mother loves you, but she don't like you. You're still trying to win your mother's acceptance. And your mother's acceptance is not required for you to move forward with your life. You accepting the fact that your mother is just a woman, just like anybody else, and she made her good and bad choices like we all do. And women who can finally make peace with the fact that they do not have to live their lives with their mother tied around their neck. We often talk about, daddy issues in modern women, but I found it's much more the mother issues. Single women keep women single. Single mothers keep their daughters single too. Wait a minute. Let me refrain. Scratch. Because there is also a variant of mother who's married to father, who purposely make their daughters independent. Well, why? Women like having one up on each other. You've seen them on this show before. Mama been married 30 plus years, but telling their daughter to go to college and don't get married, so on and so forth. But they wouldn't trade for the world. Ladies, ask yourself one question. When the beer bug happened, you had a chance to realize how much that little piece of a job you call a career don't mean shit. I mean, they treat their jobs like, if I don't do this or I don't do that, they're more into their jobs than the CEO. The people who run the companies aren't as wired up as they are. But it's because this is where I'm a good girl. I'm a good girl when I do my job. I'm a good girl when I make good grades. This is where she got praise. What little praise she got was around this. This is why I recommend therapy so much, because your mother did a job on you and did she know it? She was doing it? It doesn't matter. The fact of the matter is, you're a grown woman. You're a grown woman and you cannot handle relationships. You cannot handle relationships because you are in many ways married to your own mother. And even if your mother, and even if you're not that far off, we know the statistics. 3 out of 4 black women were married. That means 74. What do we think? All these children, girls don't let their moms just go to dirt. So they're giving their lives up. And all this resentment and everything that comes along. And gentlemen, you can't fix this. She has to fix it. She has to fix it. She has to fix it. And you will know women that have addressed this, fixed this, if their career matters, but it's not their, but if their career matters, but they're willing to put their career on the back burner on hold. If you run into a boss bitch or a career chick, kudos to all of you. You don't get career and thorough man. You got to pick. You got to pick, ladies. And the women who are willing to put career to the side for thorough man, these women want to do it. They're in their heart of hearts, they want to, but they don't know how to deal with a man in tough times. Meaning, they can have relationships. They just can't deal with conflict in relationships. They can only deal with relationships when it's smooth sailing. These are the fun girls. The girls that like to travel and trips and this, that. These aren't the women that aren't gonna be able to handle any real toughness. So as a man, you will be well to know that up front, knowing that if you want a support system, not it. Not it. Not because she doesn't want to, it's because she can't. If she can't handle conflict, she can't be your support system. And what will end up happening is she ends up feeling bad about how she is showing up in this situation where she knows she should be better. She knows she should do better. She knows that you're a thorough dude and this is a great opportunity. And she knows that anybody else in the world would kill to be where she is. She knows it. But yet she still can't get out of her own way. And what does she do? She ghosts. She leaves. Because she cannot face sitting here saying, I'm broken. She cannot face saying that this is everything I ever thought I wanted, but I can't handle it. But you know what? Maybe I don't know what I'm talking about. Maybe I don't know what I'm talking about, but I'm open the window because I want to know how many women think I'm wrong. How many mothers are out there raising your daughters, setting her up to be your get out of jail free card? How many times have I sat back and asked these women with all these kids, what are you going to do at 55, 65 years old? Well, that's what you got kids for. What you going to do? Because what man wants to sit around and say, I want to be with you, but we got to take your mama in too? Because I'm going to tell you something. These women's mothers ain't living on Swanson Hungry Man meals. They living. That means you're gonna have to take your mother-in-law in or move close to your mother-in-law. That means you're gonna have to maintain your mother-in-law and a wife. Your mother-in-law is gonna become your kid. And here's the thing: the men that can afford to do that, they don't even get a complete woman. Oh shit. I know I'm going to get cussed out. I said prepare yourself for this one. Because there's only one way out of this one, ladies, and it's through. This is why I ask women today when I date, name your therapist. In progress. Name of your therapist. If you weren't raised in a two-parent household and you have a healthy reverence for your father, what's the name of your therapist?
That was quite a sermon, huh? Wow, lots of interesting points there, I have to say. It was quite deep. And this was the beauty of Mr. Kevin Samuels. He went deeply into topics that no one else would dare go into. Taboo subjects, huh? And I think it's good that he makes us think. I think it's interesting that we have in plain sight, as he said, so many damaged people who don't even know where the source of their misery is, the source of their problems. And I think it's good if we address these issues from time to time. So think about this video, like it, subscribe if you wish. Above all, have a lovely day. Greetings to you, peace, harmony, and grace.